All right, you ready to talk about AI? I
It's
feel like
late.
there's a lot of stuff that's happening this week. Things are moving, you know? AI just keeps moving.
It really does. I feel like one of those times where it's moving faster. There seems to
Yeah.
be those pauses where it's like not much happened this week, and then everything happens.
One thing I want to make sure that we talk about, so we could do it first, is the Instagram comments thing. So Instagram Meta, I guess, is experimenting with doing more AI generated comments on posts. So if you imagine you post a nice picture of yourself or of, your vacation or whatever, and then instantly you get hundreds of replies saying, "Oh, this is great, this is good," like from not real people, from just accounts. The idea is that that's still going to give you the little dopamine boost of like, oh, yes, got my, people like me, even though you know that they're not real people. And then they'll still only do like analytics of how many real people commented. And I don't know, really weird concept. Do you think people are going to like that?
Not at all. It's not social.
Okay. Well,
It's
okay.
literally not social on social media. This isn't real.
Okay, what about the people who can sit around and play a game on their phone where they have little animals that they're taking care of, and then every time they accomplish little strawberries, they get little gold coins or something, and they go, woo, it still gives you that, like,
But that's what that game is for. So if they want to
right?
gamify Instagram further, then I suppose so. If they want to keep it a social media platform, then I would think no. Also, I saw that and I saw the AI comments. I also saw that there'd be like AI offered comments where if
Yeah,
you
like
type in your,
suggestions.
yeah, it's like, hey, do you want to say this? And so now you don't even have to be personal. You can just tap on it.
It's just like when you send an email, but it feels different with
I
Instagram,
think
with social media.
I think people will hate it because there's already like comment farming or whatever you want to call it with people going
Yeah.
on that classic comment of like, hit the like button
So
if you
cute, you
also
should
thought whatever
collab.
that you can just copy. Yeah, exactly. You could just copy and paste it to every reel you see, and it
Oh
usually
yeah.
gets a lot of likes because it's kind of funny in every circumstance. But then those comments get so old so fast because they aren't real. It's just someone trying to get likes. So
Yep.
I'm like, people already do this. I don't know if we want bots to do it too.
Well, the bots aren't trying to get likes. They're trying to make you feel liked? Is that how it's? I'm trying to figure it out. I
I
don't
feel
know.
the opposite.
I mean, I'm probably with you on this. I'm just trying to see it from the other
Yeah.
perspective. Like, do we want robots cheering us on? And we still feel like that would probably, because there probably still is a little bit of that, like, ooh, this feels good. This is fun. I posted something. I got engagement right away. How exciting. I don't know. But it is different.
When we got our first AI comment on our YouTube videos,
So funny.
I was like, yay, AI even notices us, but
Well,
that's going
AI
to be the
right now,
extent
though,
of
it's
my
in it
excitement.
for itself. Like it's not coming from YouTube. It's not coming from the platform. It's coming from somebody who's trying to get whatever, right?
Fair.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm.
Another thing that was very big on social media was I think you were going to talk about the new ChatGPT.
Ghibli Studio image
Yep.
generation.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that was
Studio
a
Ghibli, not Ghibli Studio, but yes.
or Ghibli, yeah. That was big, dude. Like, our dad was saying, just texting me and was saying like how big it was and that we needed to jump on it for marketing and stuff because it was pretty cool. Not even the Ghibli part, but just the fact that ChatGPT 4.0 gets this update with it to its image generation, and it is now easily the best out there, like easily. And the main way that I can tell the main thing I was impressed by was not it's the fact that it could recreate, certain types of animation, but it's letters. It can write words and
Yeah.
not mess up any of the letters, which is like in every single piece of it, and even the small words. It's like it
New.
notices it. So they've obviously probably worked on that because every example I've seen has been amazing, and even the couple that my dad created real quick to show me were perfect. And
Yeah.
so I couldn't get access to it because I was seeing if I could do it without paying. I'll probably pay for ChatGPT next month just because I want to be able to use this. But I was seeing if I could do it for free, and I was trying to figure it out. And then, of course, he sends me comic strip of myself because he gave it like three images of me, and it was me trying to figure out how to use it for free. And so it was like, figuring things out, and then like, not enough data, and like freaking out about random stuff in the comic strip. But again, all the words correctly spelled, and it
Yeah.
like kind of made sense. It was kind of funny, and it was definitely, it looked like a cartoon styled me. So it's just a lot of fun. But then, of course, it also became this big trend of companies started using it. People started using it for memes. Of course, every single famous photo from Trump getting shot and raising his fist to any other political thing, any classic memes, the meme of, the guy holding hands with the one girl and looking back at the other girl,
Yep,
whatever.
yep. Saw
Just
that
in
one.
every animated, possibility. But on top of that, then the White House posted one. It was of like a deporting a deportation officer deporting someone, and they were
Okay, I
in
missed
like
that.
Ghibli studio, and the White House account on X shared it out, and they like attached it to this article of like, here's who the person was and here's why they need to be deported. So people wouldn't be like, what are you doing? Why are you celebrating this? But whoever's running that account definitely has a bit of a sense of humor because they like to share things like that. But so everyone was jumping on, all of the big celebrities and big figures, and also just companies even. So, but it makes sense. It's like if it can cartoonify everything, make it super fun, make it bright and happy or whatever, why would you not use it for your business and create graphics on it? So I wasn't able to use it yet, but Dad mentioned that he had it create a bit of like a brochure based on some information, and it seemed to do a
Yeah,
pretty good job.
nice.
So yeah, I'll probably hopefully get access to that honestly in a couple days. I just figured I'd get it for April again and then play around with it. And so
I
I'm
did
excited.
see that at least one of the bigwigs at Studio Ghibli was not thrilled with this. Because, of course, people were bringing up copyright stuff, right? And can you do this? Is this sketchy? And I mean, honestly, it seemed like more than a reaction to, that's our style. It was, this is disgusting and horrible. And like robot generated art was more the problem, it looked like to me.
Mm,
Just, um, yeah, you're taking the humanity out of this, and how could you? And so thought
hmm.
that was really interesting. I don't think that there's anything moving forward as far as some sort of copyright issue, but yeah, kind of interesting.
Yeah. I know the Ghibli thing, it's like, did they have the rights to that type of animation, and can they
Right?
sue
Yeah.
over it? But there was a video of the main dude there, whatever his name is, I don't know his name, that runs the studio or whatever, basically the guy in charge. But there was a video of him like taking off his glasses and just like looking like he was like, distraught or whatever over this. And then, of course, right after I see that video, I see
Oh
another
yeah.
video where he took off his glasses and he starts rubbing his face, and then he freezes, and then it turns into the Ghibli style of him. And it's just like, oh, people are already making fun of it.
Worse.
Uh,
Grief.
so, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. That one's a little bit more. I'm like, if they have the rights to their type of drawing, that one's a little bit more. I'm on their side. But obviously, you don't have to be Ghibli style. You can also do it in
Oh
just a
yeah.
cartoon style and stuff. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
there's a chatbot arena LLM leaderboard, and it's this platform where people are voting on the best chatbot. So it's just like millions of votes to just kind of,
Huggingface.co.
yeah, there you go. That's the one, hugging. Yeah. And it's funny because despite the ChatGPT blowing up all the things, Gemini is actually on top right now because of the release of 2.5 Pro.
Yeah, I believe they had an
Oh,
update right after ChatGPT. So it was literally
there
like
you go.
ChatGPT passes up Grok, and then nope, Google.
Yep,
It's, I
yep,
don't know. It's great.
exactly. No, it's awesome. Yeah, Grok has been just crushing it there generally, but that new release made kind of skyrocket.
They have been. I've used Grok more than any other AI as my new Google. Like I actually click
Yeah.
on that before I go to Google because it's so much more helpful almost in any, unless I want to see like an IMDb score, maybe I'll go to Google. But for the most part, if I want to look up anything, it's pretty much, I always go to Grok now. I Grok it instead of Google it. But yeah, I tried some Grok image generation after the new updates to ChatGPT, and it's nowhere near now. Like immediately, it's like, oh, this suddenly looks bad again,
Yeah.
and so they suddenly seem very behind. I'm sure they'll catch up and pull ahead again because of their computing power and everything. But for now, they feel behind. So I still think they're more practical than Google as a search and more practical than any other AI. They're quick and it's straightforward and to the point, but I honestly feel like it's gotten slightly more biased and the image generation is now not comparing. And so they're a little behind. It's like, oh no, they're behind. And in a week, it's like, oh no, they're ahead again. So
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
it
we'll
doesn't
be talking
matter,
about
but
something different next week. Yeah.
yeah,
But I like how you said you grok it instead of Google it. And it's funny that we'll be getting some of these new adjectives like that, right?
yeah.
I was reading a little bit about this recent interview with Bill Gates talking about AI, and he was talking about how expertise used to be and still kind of is something that was rare and how that's just going to go away. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, just talking about how you're using AI more and more to ask for things and it knows things versus even a Google search where you still have to go searching for the information yourself. It just comes to you in package, just like every chatbot. But it
Hmm.
was kind of interesting to read. Just more, I feel like it has similarities to what we talked about last week was that last week? 2 weeks ago? Whenever we talked about with Dad about the future.
That was
Uh,
2 weeks ago.
two
Last week
weeks
was
ago.
eggs.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we really did. Okay, yeah. But basically just talking about, I think he said humans will no longer be needed for most things. Yeah, just talking about how we still have human specialists and things, but very soon anyone can be a specialist because there will be all of that expertise wrapped up in AI. And we'll have, just like you've talked about, education. What did he say? He said with AI over the next decade, that will become free. So having the great doctor, a great teacher, great medical advice, great tutoring, stuff like that. So as just more heading that direction was kind of interesting to read about. We'll see. Concerning and a fantastic opportunity, but generally optimistic, which makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
we all are. It's good. Except
But
for the Instagram comments. I don't know about
yeah,
that
that I don't
one.
know. Mainly just because it's a social media platform. I'm like, you don't need to give people the dopamine. You want them to build an actual audience or interact with real people because that's what they're there
Yeah.
to do. If it's only a game, if they only want to feel liked, then your platform is no longer, I don't know. Instagram is weird right now in many ways. So, yeah,
Well, for the record, you have predicted that it won't work. So now if it doesn't work, you can be like, yeah, I knew from the start this wasn't going to work, just like all the other famous podcast hosts. I've been
good.
saying this since day one, blah, blah, blah. That'll be you.
Mm, I can't wait. It just seems like it's also funny that it's on Instagram because Instagram feels like the place of the people that wouldn't want this. You
You
know,
might be right.
like X, there's already AI comments, there's AI
There's
accounts,
AI whole account. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and there's a lot of bots, and they'll comment and they'll whatever. And I don't think people care that much because X is pretty good with its algorithm to stick real people on top of the comments. So when you see the first 10 comments, it'll be real people. But yeah, with Instagram, it's like, no, that's where the people are. That's where the people that don't like AI are. Like that's I don't know.
You might be right.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
How the continued experimentation goes.
Yeah.
Okay, super random tidbit that I saw in a newsletter was apparently JP Morgan claims that where's the exact note? That they're the first to create genuine randomness because there have been random number generators in the past, but it's always actually based off of some kind of system, right? Nothing
Mm,
was truly random. But apparently now with quantum computing, something that was impossible with our regular computers to impossible to create a genuinely random number actually could be possible. And apparently they have created actual randomness, which sounds to me at first sounds absolutely useless, but actually is very useful for many different like industries and
I
stuff.
mean, yeah, we use randomness as in a lot
Yeah,
of
I mean like
areas in our life. So,
cybersecurity, like having something
right.
truly random keeping you secure is a really great thing. Yeah, different applications of it, but that was just a random one that I saw and then I was like, well, I'm not smart enough to understand this, but good for them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Random numbers. Yeah.
I didn't feel like anyone was actually close enough to quantum computing to start to see results from quantum computing, but
Oh,
maybe I'm
sure.
wrong.
But apparently that's a possibility. Here we go.
Hmm. Cool.
Mhm.
Speaking of breakthroughs, though, did you
Oh
see
yeah.
the new AI model? Lots of letters. It's a lot of letters. That detects endometrial cancer with a 99.26% accuracy.
Sure
And it's
didn't.
just yet another headline, but it sounds like they've got the AI good enough that they first started just feeding it a bunch of healthcare data, but it seems like we've gotten to the point that it's like, now that you know all that, now look over these,
Yeah,
scans and these whatever and predict what we want you to predict. And
just like it's doing with the weather, just like it's
yeah,
doing with the
yeah,
other. Yeah.
but it sounds like it's doing better with healthcare than weather. But it'll be
Okay.
cool when this is like, I think it's still like, okay, we gave it scans where we know where the cancer was, and 99% of the time it was right in identifying it. And hopefully that can become even better, 99.997 or something. But in the meantime, it's kind of like, okay, but have you given it any new scan that no one has looked over yet and seen how it did with that? And then, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say, when is it saving lives? I know that there's already been articles about it saving lives and predicting different things. So it's just cool.
Sure.
It's cool to see all the healthcare and AI breakthroughs.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
Another note I had was about Farm-NG, which is a California startup.
Who knew we would
And they're
talk so much
also,
about farming?
I know, well, I didn't think it'd be an industry that would use AI
It's
and
funny because we
robots
kept
that
talking.
quickly, but
And I was talking about how like, oh, AI is not going to just completely wipe out jobs. It's like the tractor. It's going to have different, which just farming references, and now here we are. Farming is
it's
the
wiping
center of
out jobs.
AI. No. Well, I mean,
Because, I
but
mean, this is the Amiga robot, and it automates repetitive tasks like planting, weeding, harvesting, and more. And so you can even like, you can configure it to different crops and tasks. And then it's got a bunch of smart cameras and sensors so that it can operate in a farm. And they've already rolled out over 100 units to farms across the US. So it's just a robot that can help take care of the repetitive stuff, the stuff like weeding and planting and harvesting that usually people do.
all the stuff that
I
in the
guess
future we should
technically
have.
robots. But yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, if it can make us more efficient, if we have
Yeah,
AI knowing exactly where to water and where to plant and
totally.
how good the soil is, and then robots doing it all consistently and whatever, then we truly will just have an abundance of food, and people can have food for way cheaper or even free, and then they don't have to work, and then what? And then what happens? What do I do with
Oh
my
my
life?
gosh, I've been there.
Boston Dynamics, their Atlas robot, they had a video of it crawling, breakdancing, and cartwheeling, and I watched just to get to the end because, of course, they
Can they
said the
get
break.
can they get can they get it to crawl really fast? Because that would be really terrifying.
It was pretty slow for now. It was kind of like stumbling as it was going from leg
I
to
believe
arm,
it. But
but it's
eventually, can we
still,
get it like the zombies in Maze Runner 2? Can we get to that level of those things
yes.
still scare me.
No, but I wanted to see it break dance, and of course they stuck that at the end of the video, so I had to watch the whole thing. But it was pretty cool. There's no point. It's like, wow, what's the point in having a robot dance?
Well, I mean, I think the point is just to show off how mobile it is,
It is, but why would
which
we
it can
ever
be.
ever want a robot to dance? Riddle
Maybe
me
we'll have
this.
robot dance-off competitions in the future, Nathan. You don't know. It's gonna be the next big show. It'll just be a couple of dudes sitting there with like controls.
Controllers, not
So
even. The robots will
lame.
just move themselves.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, well, then I don't know.
There will
I
be
don't
robots sitting there with controllers moving the robot. We
Weird.
don't need people,
Sure.
Jordan.
Right,
We're
I
done with
forgot.
that. We've moved
Yeah.
on.
Just sit in front of the TV and consume, consume, consume. Just kidding. That's terrible.
No, sit on your chair in space and have food smoothies because you can't digest things.
Ew. So gross.
We're getting there.
Yay.
All right, well, that's all I had for the week.
Cool. That's all
Lots
I
of
had for
stuff.
mine.
That's all.
Stuff. Things are going. If anyone pays attention to this video, let us know what you think about the Instagram comments thing because I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Or just write a comment, make it sound like a AI so that we think we got a bot comment because that's kind
Oh,
of
that's
funny.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, do you want to
Cool.
thank the listeners?
Always. Thank you, listeners.
Awesome.
I'm gonna go make myself some pasta.
It's like 9:30. I'm gonna go to bed.
Well, don't tell people that. They think it's Monday.
It's almost.
It's almost
Don't worry,
Monday.
guys. I edit these on Mondays. It's basically Monday.
It's true. But we are lying to you. It's not on Mondays. That's okay.
If anything crazy comes out tomorrow, I'll just call you real quick and we'll be like, okay, guys, also this.
We'll just dub it over to like still
I'll just
pictures.
AI video it, honestly.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, peace.
Peace.